Hey everybody, JC here. Hope everybody's having a great Friday evening. It is about 8:45 here in Porter, Texas. Getting ready to go run a couple of errands, and we're going to use Tesla FSD version 13.2.8 to do it. Let's get going. Push the little blue button, puts on the rear camera first, and then adjust. See go. Wave at my sister-in-law. She did not see me because she was on her phone. That's okay. Nothing wrong with that. All right. Turn around the neighborhood. They got something going on over there at the house doing some work. Not exactly sure what's going on there. All right, we're going to come up to the stop sign here and take a right turn. No cars coming, so we're good. There we go. Got a nice evening here in the Houston area. Like I said before, it is about 8:45 on Friday evening, March 21st. It is 68 degrees. Just a little bit of a light wind, not much at all. Clear skies. So really nice evening. A little bit on the chilly side for us. I know that would not be considered a chilly evening for a lot of my friends in other parts of the country, but here in Southeast Texas, 68 degrees is just a tidbit of a chilly evening combined with a light wind. All right. Make a left turn here. It is a rolling left since there is no stop sign. And similar to the immediate right turn we're about to make, this is a rolling right. We do not have a stop sign here. We have the right of way. Good job. Got a traffic circle roundabout coming up here in about 100 feet. I should say 100 yards. Does not appear to be any other vehicles in the traffic circle, so it should be pretty easy. And it is. Make a right turn out of the traffic circle. Slow down just a bit as that truck was coming in, but nothing too much. Come up to the three-way stop here in front of the middle school. We were the first ones here, so we should get going. There we go. Great job. Continue on to the back side of the neighborhood. Yeah, so just got back from Kansas last night. We were in Wichita again all this week. And so back in town, back here in Porter for the weekend. And then we are going to be heading out once again this Sunday and spend another week in Wichita. But it'll be my wife's last week in Wichita for probably about a month and a half. I don't think she needs to be back there again in May. Where she's really kind of doubling up this week to get some things done. And then they've got some things going on here in Houston during the month of April that she needs to be on site for. So fortunately, all right, it doesn't really matter. We both enjoy Wichita, so it's not that big a deal. And with the Tesla and FSD, makes it a breeze. Me being the retired house husband, I just, like I said, I've said it in previous videos, I am the gopher, bodyguard, chauffeur, confidant, all of it rolled into one. And works out really well for her too, because she just gets in the passenger seat sleeps half the time, and she wakes up and I've got her in Wichita, and she didn't have to deal with planes, trains, and automobiles. Well, she dealt with the last part, automobile, obviously. Let's edit trip. Yeah, I wanted to engineer it to go this way. There's two ways. So my first stop is the HEB on North Park Drive, and there's a couple of ways to get to it. I wanted to make sure that we took the back way to see how it does here at the railroad intersection. Not that there's been any issues, but whenever I'm back in town, I do not have a new version. I'm still, like I said, on 13.2.8. But I'll tell you, and anybody in the Tesla FSD community will tell you, is you will see things emerge from time to time. All right, we're coming up to the stop sign here. This is just a two-way stop. The traffic on 494 has the right of way. We've got a vehicle on the left side of us turning left. We got a couple more vehicles. I actually got one vehicle turning in here, and then a motorcycle behind them. And then the car opposite us came through. They were there before us, and we got two vehicles to the left, and we should be good right now. And there we go. Great job. Yeah, so I like coming this way when I just want to see how things are going. Plus, I want to see how Tesla FSD version 13.2.8 is doing with lane selection once we get up to the intersection of the 59 East Tex Freeway feeder and North Park Drive. And this is the best way to go to see that. So did a great job at the railroad intersection. That continues to be good. I also like to see how it does with this temporary dedicated right turning lane. As you turn off of, you take a right turn off of 494 to get on to North Park Drive. Let's see if it goes into this temporary lane. So far, so good. It's got its right blinker on. Now, we do have a lead car this time. Let's see what they do. Now, they are not going into the dedicated right turning lane, and FSD is trying to. There's just not enough room. So we do not have a lead car going through it. Right now, we don't have enough room. So let's see what FSD decides to do once traffic moves up here at the stoplight. So the reason I like to see it is you can see there's a temporary right turning lane here. That's a really big construction zone here. And so it's a good test of the vision-based system, since none of this right here is obviously on Google Maps at all. If you went by just hard C++ coding, Tesla would just go all the way up to the traffic light and then make a hard 90-degree right turn. And we are taking the temporary right turning lane. Great job. All right, come on through. Get on North Park. All right, now let's see how our lane selection does here. And it wants to go straight on North Park. So that means we're going to go under the bridge and continue straight. So let's watch and see how our lane selection is here. Are we going to get over to the right? Yes, we are. Great job. Good job with lane selection. Perfect. That is exactly what we want to see. We want to see it make proper lane selection decisions at the right time and not stay in that lane to our left, or in some cases be all the way over to the left and then have to fight your way over a lane or two in order to keep going straight after we pass underneath the 59 East Tex Freeway bridge. So that was great. So we did really good going through the railroad intersection. It made all the right decision. Somebody's honking. I don't know what they're honking at. All right, we got a green light. Yeah, there was somebody honking, not right behind me, but somewhere in the vicinity behind me, and I don't know what the honks were for. there was a red light, so nobody could go anywhere. You never know. Somebody may have just been honking at a friend. All right. Put on our left blinker. And then the navigation that I set for HEB, I just had it go to HEB. I used the preset navigation that is in the Tesla navigation. I did not try to set a manual pin. So let's just see how it does when we go into the HEB parking lot. So yeah, it did great at the railroad intersection, made all the proper decisions there. All right. Got a protected left turn. We come into the HEB parking lot. All right, we're going to make a right turn. Not there. Good job. Pass that up. You can make one here. Great job. So I thought it was going to go down that lane over there. That would have been a snafu because these are one-way lanes here. All right. So we have gone into a parking lane here at HEB, and we're going the right direction in a one-way parking lot. Let's just see what it decides to do here. Well, right now we need to stop for the traffic ahead of us. They're trying to figure out what to do. So since I did not set a manual pin and I just set it to HEB, we'll see if it continues to go around and try to find a parking spot somewhere. Well, there's a parking spot right there that we passed up. That would have been a good one. Not there, that's handicapped. So it's going to take a left turn here. But let's see if it will continue on its path to find a parking spot, or if it just does the drop off in front of the HEB. Oh, Dodge Ram is backing up a little bit to let us through, and we take it. We give them a wave and a thumbs up. That was very nice of them to do that. And let's see what we're going to do here. Oh, it's going to stop. So let's end the trip here, and let's try to find a parking spot. All right, looks like it's found a spot. Let's see how we do. I mean, it did a great job, but hadn't given up yet. There we go. Perfect. Great job. So it did go and find a spot. It dropped us off initially in front. So it did not try to find a parking spot at the get-go and dropped us off in front like a cybercab robo-taxi. But then once I did set a manual pin, and I just did and I did not try to go to any specific spot. I just picked the middle of the parking lot, hit a manual pin, and it went on its way. And once it found an available spot, it parked, because you can see right there. I actually, where I just kind of put the pin down, it was back over that way. So once it found a spot, it got it. So good to go. So totally hands-free and foot-free on that one. All right. Well, I'm going to run into HEB, grab a few things, and I'll be back out here in the Tesla in a little bit. All right. Bye-bye. All right, everybody. Back in the Tesla. Let's get back on the road. Push the little blue button. Rear camera comes on. We do have a pedestrian right to the side of the Tesla, so we're going to wait a second, let her pass by. I'm absolutely fine with that. There we go. Let her clear out. There we go. Reverse back. Watch out for the cart and the cart bay. Great job. Yeah, so on our way to the HEB, did a great job at the railroad intersection at Knox Road and 494, made all the correct decisions there. Then at the intersection of 494 and North Park Drive, got into the temporary construction zone parking lane. That was good lane selection. And then at the intersection of North Park and the 59 East X Freeway, really like seeing that. Really like seeing good lane selection there. All right, make a right turn here on North Park out of the HEB parking lot. Getting over to our left, we're going to get stopped by the traffic light. We're going to turn left on the opposite side of 59 East X Freeway after we pass through the bridge here. But yeah, so did a great job on the way here. So, and then when we got into the pulled into the HEB parking lot, selected the right type of parking lane to go down, because at this HEB, I think most, if not all, of the parking lanes are one way. So you do have to select property versus some other HEBs around town. They'll have like two-way parking lanes, so you don't have to worry about it. This one you do, and it selected the correct one. It did not try to park us initially. It took us to the front of the HEB and dropped us off like as if it were a cyber cab or a robo-taxi. But then we set a manual pin for just somewhere in the middle of the parking lot, and it went on and found us a spot. So completely hands-free from the perspective of the steering wheel and the pedals. I should say hands-free and foot-free, other than the fact that we did have to set a manual pin to go park. It didn't park for us. But again, version 13.2.8 does not have preset parking functionality. So it is definitely hit or miss. But I will tell you, at least for me, it does seem like it's getting a little bit better each and every week. It's like, statistically speaking, it will try more times than not to park. And then when I set a manual pin, I'm at about 80 or 90% of the time now. Once you set a manual pin, it'll try to find a parking spot. Now, that being said, it won't always be the best parking job you've ever seen in your life, but it parks. The parking job it did at HEB after I set the manual pin, that was perfect. That was absolutely perfect. So I have noticed that, anecdotally, that FSD will do a much better job of parking in a parking lot if there's other vehicles around. And I guess it's using those other vehicles to offset from, versus just an empty spot in the parking lot with no other vehicles around. It can be a little hit or miss there on how good of a job it does. All right, so we are on 59 East X Freeway now, going northbound towards the new Caney Shopping Center. And you can guess it, we're going to one of my favorite restaurants on planet Earth, La Whataburger. And same with the HEB. I did not set a manual pin. I used the preset navigation for Whataburger in the Tesla navigation. So we'll see how it does once we get to the Whataburger. And if we need to do a manual PIN. And as I've said before, I'm at the point now where I'm at a one manual PIN maximum. If it doesn't park after I set a manual PIN, then I just go ahead and manually park. I'm not going to put y'all through that. Especially since, like we said, we all acknowledge it does not have that functionality built in yet. But it is just fun to see the vehicle park itself. So that was kind of why I was doing it previously. But yes, my policy now is that I use the preset navigation for a location that's already in the Tesla navigation first. If it's there, I use that first. And if that decides to drop me off in front, like a robo-taxi, or it decides to just kind of stop in the middle of a parking lot, I will go ahead on most occasions and set one manual PIN to try to get it to park. If that doesn't work, I just manually park. All right. We are now at the intersection of the 59 East Tex Freeway feeder and Highway 99 Grand Parkway. So yeah, just got back from Kansas, Wichita. Had a great time there. Again, it got a little chillier this time, but got to do a couple of drives while I was up there. Oh, see, that Saturn doesn't have the ding when the green light comes on like we do. Man, Saturn, you don't see many of those around anymore. And those were all the buzz. I want to say, what was that, the 90s? I'm going to say I remember the Saturn being kind of big, like back in the mid to late 90s. And a lot of my friends got them, and they really loved them. I mean, they really liked their Saturns. I don't see them anymore. And forgive me if, I should know this, but did they get acquired by somebody or they just go out of business? Because I don't see like new Saturns, being driven around. But obviously you can tell they were put together fairly well because they're still driving around. And I remember them when they were new. My friends loved them. Great vehicles. All right, we're in the Whataburger parking lot. Let's see how we do in here. Let's see what it decides to do. Continuing on through here. All right. And looks like we're going to try to reverse park into a spot. Excellent. Awesome job. Perfect reverse park in at La Whataburger. All right, everybody. I will be back in this will be quick because it was a call-in order. So see y'all in just a little bit. Bye-bye. All right. Back in the Tesla. That was a quick one. Let's head over to the Superchargers. Let's go. Go. Pulling out of the Whataburger. Let's see which way it decides to go to the Superchargers. All right, we got a vehicle coming in to our left side, but they turn out. Let's see. All right, we're going to leave the Whataburger parking lot and take a right turn up here. I guess we're going to get back up on the feeder. All right. We do have traffic coming to our left, as you can see, but we should have a gap right here. And we take it. All right. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and visit the Tesla Superchargers here in New Caney. As I've mentioned on my previous videos, I almost never go to the local Tesla Superchargers here around where I live. So from my home, from my house, there are 2 Tesla Superchargers, both of them 250 kilowatts, that are, one of them, this one I guess is probably about, I'd say this is 6 or 7 miles from my house. About, let's say 7 miles from my house. There's another one going towards the airport that's probably about 10 miles from my house. So pretty close. But just be honest, I never use them because I always charge at home. And I charge with a 110 volt. And that's really all I need 99.99999% of the time. But what I thought is, number one, let's just see how the Supercharger looks right now. Haven't been here in a little while. And then secondly, I did just get back from Wichita last night after a long road trip. We're going to be going back up Sunday morning, so not that long from now. And when I did pull in last night, I pulled in with about an 8% charge. I immediately put in my 110 volt, and that got me up to a pretty good charge. But again, you're not going to go from 7 or 8% to 80% overnight on a 110 volt. So I'm at a little bit above 40% right now. So I was just like, hey, why not pull into the Supercharger while I'm here and go ahead and get a quick volt before we head home and get it up there a little bit, and then charge some more tomorrow. But then I'm going to do some driving as well tomorrow. So, go ahead and just get it on up there with the Supercharger. But again, this is like the only times I will come to our local Supercharger is when I'm, right before a road trip. All right. A perfect reverse park into the Tesla Supercharger here in New Caney, Texas. All right. Well, let me go charge up a little bit. And then when we're done with that, we'll get back on the road and head home. See y'all in a little bit. Bye-bye. All right, everybody. Done charging up here at the Tesla Supercharger in New Caney, Texas. Let's head on out. Go. Pull out of the Supercharger. And it's a really good location. I really like this one here in New Caney. Not only are they all 250s, and there are a bunch of them, and they're always up, they're generally never packed. I mean, every single time I've come, I think the most Teslas I've ever seen charging at one time there, maybe 6 or 7. I've never seen it full, ever. And I'd love to see it full one day, right? But, I mean, it is Porter, New Caney. So, we're getting there. I mean, I'll tell you what, 6 or 7 is more than what I remember seeing a couple of years ago when I first started coming out here, which was me. And then me again. So, that's always good. But it's a great Supercharger, and it's also a great location. You got everything you could possibly want there. You got a grocery store, got a bunch of places to eat. It's about anything you need. All right, Did a U-turn there around Highway 99, coming back up on the 99 feeder. I'm gonna take this feeder all the way back up to the 59 East Tex Freeway feeder. We are gonna make one more stop before I go home, but the stop is very close to home. I'm gonna stop at the Speedy Stop there on North Park. One thing I have done is I have put a couple of other points of interest into the navigation along the way to the Speedy Stop, because I want to see Tesla FSD at a couple of different places. It may be all for naught, but might as well do it. And I need to, in order to see how FSD's doing at these specific areas, I had to put some manual points of interest in along the way. Because if I just put in Speedy Stop, it's just going to put me on 59 East Tex Freeway, take me all the way to North Park, hang a left, and we'll be. And I've done that a million times now with FSD. And so, but there are a couple of places along the way that are a little bit more complex, and we'll just see. I shouldn't say it's overly complex, but just a little more complexity. All right, we're at the intersection. We can turn right on red, and there we go. Great job. Go. Yep. All right. So we are going to, I'm not sure if we're going to get up on 59 or not. We may take the feeder all the way down to North Park Drive, although I think it's actually, you can get up on 59. I think that there's one more exit, so we'll just see what it does. Either way, not a biggie. Did great there at the Tesla Supercharger. Did a perfect reverse park into one of the charging spots. I didn't spend a long time there. I think I got about 20% juice. I should have spent a little bit longer. The pricing was pretty good tonight. It was 20 cents a kilowatt. And as most folks in the Tesla community will tell you, 20 cents a kilowatt's a damn good rate. But it's not as good as my rate at home, which is like 7 cents a kilowatt. So, but that 20 kilowatts I got right there, I got that in about 5, 6, 7 minutes. Whereas at home on a 110 volt, that would have, been overnight. So that's where they come in handy when you need it like that for an upcoming road trip. All right, we're up on excuse me, we're up on 59 East Tex Freeway going southbound. Be on here for about another mile. Oh, sorry about that. I had a frog in my throat. One thing I like, I am on the hurry mode with the 50% max speed offset, and we did not try to just race all the way over to the leftmost lane. It got over enough where it could go the speed that it wanted to go, which was right around 80 to 82. And it didn't need to race all the way over to the left. Once it found a lane it could do that, it got there and stayed there. And on some previous versions of even, version 13.2, it would just race to the left as soon as it could possibly do it. And then just, I don't know. It would come back over when cars would get behind it going a little faster and get out of their way. but it would just initially, as soon as we got on the highway, just race over to the left. And it still races over, but it doesn't try to get all the way over to the leftmost lane, and I like that. All right. We're going to get in the U-turn lane, the leftmost U-turn lane here, and go underneath the East Tex Freeway Bridge, and then go the opposite direction, northbound on the feeder. There we go. Moving into the U-turn lane, we do have traffic, so we're going to need to yield. And we should be good right after, well, there came another car. Now we should be good. And there we go. And we're going to get all the way over to the right here eventually. And we're going to take a right on Memorial Drive. And we'll get to see how it does with, trip, unprotected lefts coming off a small county road onto another small county road. Let's just see. All right, turning right onto Memorial. There we go. Exit that. Now, a lot of this depends on how much traffic is on 494. And so, unfortunately, there may not be much. But again, I just like to see how the software is doing when you're going from one small county road to another county, a bit bigger one, and with more traffic. 494 definitely has more traffic. But again, just trying to give it a little more complexity. All right, moving up here. Let the Audi move through, and well, we're not going to have much complexity here. Nope. Well, you know, you can't control everything, right? I mean, it did a great job on that small little country road. Made a nice unprotected left onto 494, but yeah, there was no traffic coming either direction, let alone both directions. So it is what it is. And good job here at the railroad intersection, although we had the right of way the whole way, so that makes it easier coming this direction on the railroad intersection, since we have the right of way coming from that direction. A little bit more complex going the opposite direction, the way we were going to HEB. All right. Our left turn here. Keep an eye out for any critters. Well, there you go. No critters tonight. Good deal. Yeah, that's one thing I don't care to test. Keep the puppy dogs and the kitty cats and armadillos and raccoons, keep those near the house. I want to get those out on the road. I'm fine with testing complex intersections and whatnot, but yeah, I don't need critters to come out at me. We already know Tesla does really well with animals. All right, up to the three-way stop in front of the middle school. Make our right turn. Got the traffic circle coming up here. We're going to go straight through the traffic circle this time because we're going to go to the Speedy Stop. So we get in there. Now we're going to come straight on through. Got a oncoming vehicle. Do a great job there. And there we are. And we'll see how we are going to make a left turn onto North Park from this area once we get up there. See how we do. Got a slow moving vehicle up here in front of us. We'll get around them. Yeah, most of the time when we're coming up to this intersection up here, we're taking a right turn onto North Park. But this time we will be taking a left turn, which means we need to get into the turning median up here after the stoplight. There we go, good lane selection. Get over here in the left lane. But we do need to wait for the stoplight to turn green. Definitely tell some kids out tonight. Hear those engines start revving. Just be safe. There we go. Got the green light. Move on through. Make a left turn here after the median. Great job. And then the Speedy Stop is going to be up here just past the traffic light. Now, I would think we'd be getting over in the right lane about this point because, yeah, the Speedy Stop is literally the first stop after the traffic light. So this is going to be, now I can kind of understand not wanting to get in that right lane. Now here's the dilemma is a lot of times you don't want to get into the right lane at an intersection where you are not actually turning right at the light, so that folks will have the ability to make a right turn and not have to wait on you. But at the same time, you see the Speedy Stop there. It's literally the first right turn after the light. So let's just see what it does. It's gonna have to find a way to get over there. So let's just see. Another interesting position that we find ourselves in. We'll see what we do here. Got the red light, or the turn light on. We get over. Great job. and then we make our right turn. Perfect. I mean, that's about as good as it gets. We are not responsible for holding anybody up there at the intersection of North Park and Woodland Hills, but we're also able to safely get all the way over to the right. Let's see how we do here in the parking lot. Let's see, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? All right, it's gonna park. And it parked, and I'm telling you, we are technically in the lines, but both of our right, the front right and the rear right wheel are right on the line. I mean, right on the line. But can I get out of the Tesla right now and go do what I need to do and then be fine? Absolutely. And that's what we're going to do. All right, everybody. I'll be back in a second. Bye-bye. All right. Back in the Tesla. Let's head on home. All right. Put the reverse camera on. Pull out of the Speedy Stop parking lot. Let's see which direction it decides to go. Because there's two ways it can go home, and it's decided it wants to go the U-turn route. That's fine. That is absolutely fine. All right, we pull up to North Park. Nobody coming, so we get out, take our right turn. Now we're going to need to get into the turning lane here because we're going to do a U-turn to go the other way on North Park. Our line of visibility here is about as bad as it can get in Kingwood. And now we've got a Chevy Silverado coming through. Give them a little room. We move up, and there we go. Great job. But yeah, that visibility is not great. Tesla FSD, the cameras on the Tesla actually see better than a human does at that intersection. All right. Pull up here. We got a red light. You can turn right on red. There's nobody coming. There we go. Great job. All right. Come up to the four-way stop. No other vehicles here, so this one should be easy. Come to a complete stop and then go. That's an easy one. Not a lot of decision making there. Right, coming up to the neighborhood. Make a left turn here. And then make an immediate right into the neighborhood. And let's just see how we do tonight. Is it going to default to parallel parking us in front of my home, or is it going to try to go directly into my driveway, or is it going to try to reverse into my driveway? Let's see what it decides to do tonight. It's not going to do either. It's going to parallel park in front of my neighbor's house. So, all right, everybody. Well, great FSD drives tonight. perfect parking spot, the only time is at my home. That is going to be the last thing it's going to get done. So, all right, everybody. Well, I hope y'all have a great rest of your Friday evenings. Hope you have a great weekend. If I don't see you again before I head back up to Wichita, you know I love you, and I will talk to all of y'all again soon. Bye-bye.